Hello everyone. Welcome to Fluent English Journey. I'm so happy you're here. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you can get daily tips that will help you improve your English step by step. Today, we are going to talk about something very practical and useful. This is something that can really make your English stronger, more natural, and easier to use in real life. Many people spend years studying English. They learn grammar rules, memorize long lists of vocabulary words, read books, and do many exercises. But even after all that study, speaking English in real conversations can still feel hard. You might know a lot of words, but sometimes it is difficult to put them together to say exactly what you mean. You may get stuck, or your sentences may feel incomplete or unnatural. One of the best ways to improve your English is to learn daily sentences that you can use naturally in different situations. These are sentences that go beyond simple greetings like hello or how are you, or small talk like nice weather today. Instead, they are sentences that help you share your thoughts, give your opinions, respond to others, speak confidently in conversations. For example, instead of memorizing long lists of words, you can learn a sentence like, I really appreciate the way you explained that because it helped me understand better. This sentence is very useful. You can say it in a meeting, in school, with friends, or even with your family. Using sentences like this makes your English sound smooth and fluent. Your words will flow naturally instead of being a series of short, disconnected words. Another important tip is to learn sentences that are flexible. For example, I am curious to know what you think about this idea. This sentence can be used in many situations. You can say it in a classroom discussion, a work meeting, or a casual conversation with friends. By changing a few words, you can use the same sentence in different contexts. This saves you time because you do not need to start from scratch every time you want to speak. This method also helps your brain recognize patterns, not just individual words. When your brain learns sentence patterns, speaking English becomes much easier, and you can start talking like a native speaker. Advanced learners often do not memorize single words. Instead, they learn common sentence patterns and then adjust them slightly depending on the conversation. By practicing daily sentences every day, you will notice which phrases feel natural and which ones you can adapt for different people and situations. Another useful tip is to pay attention to connecting your ideas. Instead of speaking in short, isolated thoughts, try to link your sentences together. For example, instead of just saying, I agree, you could say, I agree with you because, and then give your reason. Connecting ideas like this makes your English sound polished, professional, and clear. To summarize, the key to speaking English more naturally is to practice real sentences, not just individual words. Choose sentences that are flexible, adaptable, and useful in many situations. Use them every day. Pay attention to how they feel in your conversations and try to link your ideas naturally. This approach will not only improve your fluency, but also give you more confidence when speaking. When you want to agree with someone, you can start with a simple sentence like, I agree with you. But if you want your speech to sound richer, longer, and more interesting, you can extend it. I agree with you, and I think the plan could work even better if we consider this approach. Adding extra ideas makes your sentences more expressive and clear. It also helps the person you are talking to follow your thoughts easily. Learning how to extend your sentences naturally is a skill that separates advanced speakers from intermediate learners. You can practice this by taking a simple idea and building on it step by step. For example, instead of just saying, I like this idea, you can explain why you like it, give an example, or add a suggestion. Doing this makes your speech complete, confident, and natural. Daily use sentences are not just for sharing opinions. They also help in everyday situations like responding politely, giving feedback, asking for clarification. For example, could you explain that a bit more so I can understand fully? I see what you mean, and I would like to add another point. These sentences help you join conversations actively without hesitation. Many advanced learners know a lot of words, but are unsure how to put them together naturally. This can make their speech sound choppy or incomplete. Using ready-made sentences for daily situations is a simple solution. It gives you confidence because you know how to respond appropriately in many situations. Another important point is context. Knowing when and where to use a sentence is just as important as knowing the sentence itself. Context changes the meaning of your words and how people perceive your English. For example, in a professional meeting, you might say, "I understand your perspective, and I would like to explore another possibility." This sounds respectful, thoughtful, and collaborative. But in a casual conversation with friends, you could say, "I see what you mean, and I was thinking maybe we could try something a little different." The meaning is similar, but the tone is friendly and relaxed, which is perfect for the situation. In short, using full, ready-made sentences helps you in many ways. You express your thoughts clearly. You extend your ideas naturally. You adapt your words for different situations. By practicing these sentences daily, your English will become smoother, easier, and more natural. Your fluency will improve, and you will feel more confident speaking in every situation. Over time, practicing these daily sentences will help you develop a natural flow in your speech. You will start to think in English, respond quickly, and sound much more like a native speaker. Practicing every day also builds confidence. You will no longer struggle to find the right words or hesitate while speaking. Instead, you will have a set of ready-made natural sentences for different situations. With these sentences, you will know how to express your ideas clearly, ask for clarification politely, agree or disagree respectfully, encourage meaningful conversations. This approach is what separates advanced speakers from intermediate learners. Advanced English is not just about knowing words. It is about knowing how to use full sentences effectively in real-life communication. By focusing on sentence function, context, and natural phrasing, your English will become smoother, more confident, and engaging for others. Practicing daily sentences is one of the most practical ways to improve English because it combines fluency, confidence, and communication skills all at once. Sentences that encourage conversation show engagement and thoughtfulness. At the same time, they help you learn more from the conversation because you are actively listening and responding. This strategy is especially useful for learners who want to improve speaking and listening skills together. By practicing sentences in dialogue, you are training your brain to process English naturally and respond quickly. Another effective approach is to practice sentences that express emotions clearly and appropriately. Advanced English is not just grammar and vocabulary. It is also about conveying feelings, attitudes, and reactions naturally. For example, "I am genuinely impressed by how you handled that situation. I was surprised by the results, and it made me think differently about the topic." These sentences let you express emotions smoothly and confidently, even under pressure. Expressing emotions through full sentences also helps you connect better with others. People respond more positively when they feel you are sharing genuine thoughts and feelings, not just stating facts. Another excellent technique for advanced learners is storytelling. Instead of speaking in short, choppy sentences like, "I went to the store and bought food. I came back home," you can use connected, flowing sentences. "Yesterday, I went to the store to buy some ingredients for dinner. While I was there, I noticed a new cafe that had just opened, which looked really interesting. So, I decided to check it out." This style improves your fluency, teaches you to link ideas naturally, and makes your speech engaging. Storytelling can be used for personal experiences, professional examples, or even presentations. It makes conversations livelier and easier to follow, and your speech sounds confident and natural. It is also very helpful to practice sentences that offer suggestions or advice politely. Simple phrases like, Have you considered trying this approach? One idea that might work well is: these sentences work in professional meetings, group projects, or casual conversations. They show respect, invite discussion, and allow you to share your thoughts without sounding bossy or rude. Practicing suggestions in daily sentences prepares you to contribute meaningfully in discussions and teamwork situations. In summary, practicing sentences that express emotions, tell stories, or offer suggestions helps you in many ways. Improves fluency, builds confidence, helps you connect with others, teaches you to link ideas naturally, helps you respond thoughtfully, makes your speech more expressive and engaging. By practicing daily, full sentences become your automatic response, making English speaking smoother, more natural, and enjoyable. For example, when offering suggestions politely, you can say, "It might make things a little easier if we try this." One idea that comes to mind is to start with this step. These sentences help you participate actively without sounding rude, whether in workplace meetings, group projects, or casual conversations. Regular practice also increases your flexibility and creativity in expressing ideas, an important trait of advanced English speakers. Another useful tip is to focus on sentences that combine multiple ideas naturally. Advanced conversations often involve complex topics and multiple points of view, and practicing this prepares you to handle those discussions confidently. Learning to express your thoughts clearly in one complete sentence is very important. For example, you could say, "I understand the challenges you mentioned, and I believe that by adjusting our approach slightly, we could achieve better results while still maintaining our original goals." This sentence combines understanding, suggestion, and a positive attitude all at once. Practicing sentences like this helps you express complex ideas fluently and makes your speech sound more sophisticated and confident. One of the most effective ways to practice daily sentences is to use them in real-life situations. Reading, repeating, and writing sentences is helpful, but speaking them naturally in conversations is what really improves your English. A practical method is to choose 5 sentences each day and try to use them with friends, colleagues, or in online discussions. Pay attention to how people respond and try to adapt your sentences naturally depending on the situation. By practicing sentences this way, you will notice that your speech becomes smoother. Your ideas are expressed more clearly. Your confidence grows. You no longer struggle to find words because the sentences become automatic responses. This method also helps you think in English, so responding in conversations becomes faster and more natural. Another important area is linking sentences together. Advanced English is not just about knowing individual sentences, it is about connecting ideas smoothly. Linking sentences makes your speech easier to follow and helps others understand your thoughts fully. For example, instead of saying, "I agree, we should try this. That could work," you can say, "I agree with your idea, and I think we should try this approach because it could improve the results even further." This single sentence combines agreement, suggestion, and reasoning, making your speech more engaging and professional. Practicing sentences that link ideas, express suggestions politely, and combine multiple thoughts will make your conversations interactive, effective, and enjoyable. It is also important to practice sentences for agreeing and disagreeing in a nuanced way. In everyday conversations, simply saying, "I agree" or "I disagree" is usually not enough. Advanced learners benefit from sentences that show both understanding and critical thinking. For example, "I completely understand your point, and I agree with it, but I also think there may be another perspective worth considering. You make an interesting argument, and I see where you are coming from. However, I would like to share a slightly different view." These sentences allow you to participate thoughtfully and respectfully in professional discussions, academic debates, or even casual conversations. Daily practice will help you respond confidently when others have different opinions. Another useful area is expressing curiosity and asking for more details. Advanced learners often want to explore topics further or continue a conversation. Sentences like, "I am curious to know how you reached that conclusion. Could you walk me through your thought process so I can understand better?" are excellent because they show interest, engagement, and respect. Using sentences like these frequently will naturally lead to longer, richer conversations. Asking follow-up questions in full sentences also improves your listening skills. It is also very practical to practice sentences for expressing feelings or reactions politely. Advanced English is not just about grammar and vocabulary, it's about conveying emotions and attitudes naturally. For example, "I am really impressed by how you managed that project. I was surprised by your results, and it made me think differently about this topic." These sentences help you respond smoothly without pausing to find words. Expressing emotions through full sentences also helps you connect better with others because it makes your speech human, relatable, and engaging. People respond positively when they feel your reactions are genuine and thoughtful. Finally, advanced learners should practice sentences for giving advice or suggestions politely. Many learners struggle with offering ideas without sounding bossy. Ready-made sentences can solve this problem, for example. One thing you might consider is trying this approach. It has worked well for others in similar situations. "I have an idea that could help, and I would be happy to share it if you're interested." These sentences are collaborative and respectful, allowing you to participate actively in discussions and problem-solving in the workplace, school, or social situations. By practicing sentences for agreement, curiosity, emotions, and suggestions every day, you will gradually speak English with confidence, clarity, and natural flow. Your conversations will become interactive, thoughtful, and engaging, whether you are speaking professionally, academically, or socially. Practicing daily sentences will help you offer helpful suggestions naturally and contribute meaningfully to conversations. Another very useful technique for advanced learners is practicing storytelling. When telling stories, it is important to link ideas smoothly, provide enough details, make your sentences flow naturally. Instead of using short, disconnected sentences like, "I went to the gallery," "I attended a workshop," "I learned a lot," you can combine ideas into a single flowing sentence. "Last weekend, I visited a new art gallery in the city. While I was there, I attended a workshop on painting techniques, which was both informative and inspiring, and it gave me new ideas for my own artwork." This type of sentence practice has many benefits. It improves fluency, helps you connect ideas clearly, makes your speech sound more sophisticated and interesting. Advanced learners can use storytelling in both personal experiences and professional examples, making conversations more engaging, memorable, and enjoyable. Practicing connected sentences also teaches you to use transitions naturally, which is essential for expressing multiple thoughts without confusing your listener. You can also combine skills while telling stories. For example, while narrating an event, you can include your reactions, feelings, and observations, which makes your speech richer and more interactive. This will help you think in English, respond quickly, and speak confidently in both casual and formal situations. Using these strategies consistently will make your English sound fluent, expressive, and polished. You will find it easier to share opinions, give feedback, tell stories, connect emotionally with others. By practicing daily, these sentences will gradually become second nature, and your conversations will be smoother, richer, and more enjoyable. Storytelling sentences also help you use complex sentence structures, transition words, and descriptive language, all important for clear and engaging communication. Another key area for advanced learners is handling disagreements or sensitive topics politely. In many conversations, whether at work, school, or with friends, people may have strongly different opinions. Knowing how to respond respectfully and thoughtfully is essential. For example, I understand your point and I respect your opinion, but I would like to offer another perspective that might help us see the situation differently. You raise a valid point, and I agree with part of it. However, I think we should also consider these factors. These sentences allow you to express your ideas clearly while keeping a polite and professional tone. Using sentences to encourage further conversation is another effective strategy. Instead of letting conversations end abruptly, invite the other person to speak more. That is very interesting. Could you tell me more about how you approached that challenge? I had not thought of it that way before. Could you explain your reasoning in more detail? These sentences show curiosity, engagement, and respect for the other person's ideas. They also create opportunities for longer, more meaningful conversations, helping you improve both speaking and listening skills. Encouraging others to explain their ideas allows you to listen carefully, respond thoughtfully, and participate actively instead of relying on short phrases. Advanced learners also benefit from practicing sentences that combine multiple ideas naturally. Complex conversations often require expressing several points in one sentence. For example, I understand the concerns you mentioned, and I believe that by adjusting our approach slightly, we could improve the results while still maintaining our original goals. This sentence combines understanding, suggestion, and a positive attitude, making it more advanced than speaking in separate, disconnected points. Practicing sentences like this teaches you to express multiple thoughts smoothly, which is essential for discussions, meetings, or debates. Another benefit of these sentences is that they help you think in English and respond more quickly in conversations. By practicing complex sentences regularly, your brain learns to organize thoughts clearly and communicate effectively. Over time, your speech becomes more confident, fluent, and engaging, and you can handle a wider range of topics naturally. In short, practicing sentences for storytelling, polite disagreements, encouraging conversations, and combining multiple ideas is essential for advanced learners. These strategies make your English more natural, expressive, and interactive, allowing you to participate fully in any discussion. Using these sentences daily will improve your fluency, listening, and confidence, and your English will sound polished and professional in both formal and casual settings. It is also very important to practice sentences that express gratitude or appreciation in a detailed and sincere way. Instead of simply saying, "Thank you," you can expand your sentence. I really appreciate the effort you put into this project, and it has made a significant difference in the results we achieved together. Detailed expressions of gratitude sound genuine and make your interactions more meaningful in professional or personal contexts. Similarly, you can recognize someone's contributions. I value your input on this matter, and it has given me new insights that I had not considered before. Practicing these types of sentences enhances your interpersonal communication skills and helps you build stronger relationships through thoughtful language. Another highly practical area for advanced English learners is learning sentences that allow you to express opinions clearly and persuasively. Advanced learners often need to communicate ideas confidently without sounding aggressive, pushy, or uncertain. For example, based on my experience, I believe that taking this approach could lead to better outcomes, and I would be happy to discuss the details further. I see several advantages in this method, and I think it aligns well with our overall goals. These sentences combine clarity, confidence, and politeness, allowing you to convey authority and credibility while remaining approachable and respectful. Practicing sentences for expressing opinions helps you participate actively in discussions, meetings, and debates. You will be able to share your perspective without hesitation and respond to questions or challenges more naturally over time. It is also important to focus on sentences that show understanding and acknowledgement of others' viewpoints while contributing new ideas. This skill is useful in professional environments, collaborative projects, or academic discussions, where balancing respect and assertiveness is key. For example, I see your perspective and think it is valid, and I would like to suggest another idea that might complement it. Sentences like this demonstrate thoughtfulness, openness, and cooperation, making your communication more effective and your interactions more positive. Combining sentences that express opinions, gratitude, recognition, and suggestions allows you to handle conversations more naturally and fluently. Practicing them every day will gradually improve your confidence, fluency, and ability to respond in real time. As these sentences become second nature, your English will sound polished, professional, and engaging, allowing you to interact effectively in both casual and formal settings. Advanced learners should also focus on sentences that describe experiences, observations, and events in detail. Using descriptive sentences allows you to communicate clearly and create vivid images for your listener, making your speech more engaging. For example, instead of saying, "The event was good," you could say, "The event was very well organized, and the speaker shared valuable insights that helped me understand the topic in depth." Instead of, "I enjoyed the presentation," you could say, "I really enjoyed the presentation because it was engaging, informative, and encouraged active participation from the audience." Practicing descriptive sentences helps you express ideas naturally, makes conversations more lively, and keeps your listener interested. Another important area is practicing sentences that encourage collaboration and teamwork. Using polite and inclusive language is essential. For example, "I think it would be helpful if we combined our ideas and worked together on this project. We could try this approach together, and I believe it will lead to better results." These sentences show cooperation, value others' contributions, and reinforce polite communication habits. Regular practice makes it easier to contribute ideas without sounding pushy or dominating. A crucial skill for advanced learners is using sentences to make polite requests or ask for help confidently. Simple phrases like, "Can you help me?" can sound too direct. Instead, you can use sentences like, "Would you mind helping me with this task? I would really appreciate your guidance. If you have a moment, I would love to get your advice on this matter." These sentences communicate your request clearly, while also showing respect for the other person's time and expertise, which is especially important in professional and academic settings. Using full sentences for requests, suggestions, and collaboration has multiple benefits. It enhances fluency because you practice complete, natural expressions. It helps you sound confident and approachable, making others more likely to respond positively. It reinforces advanced communication habits, including politeness, engagement, and clarity, essential for professional success and meaningful personal interactions. Descriptive and collaborative sentences can also be combined with storytelling, opinions, and emotional expressions. For example, during the workshop, I observed several effective strategies that the team used, and I believe if we apply some of these methods together, we could achieve even better results while maintaining high quality. This single sentence accomplishes multiple goals. It is descriptive, collaborative, and polite. Practicing sentences like this prepares you for real-life conversations, where you may need to combine multiple ideas clearly and respectfully. Daily practice will make these sentences second nature, helping you express ideas clearly, participate actively, and interact respectfully in professional, academic, or social settings. Using polite and well-structured sentences for requests is especially important. These sentences help you maintain professionalism and build stronger relationships in workplaces, academic discussions, or team projects. Practicing polite requests increases your confidence and helps you communicate without hesitation. For example, "Would you mind helping me with this task? I would really appreciate your guidance." If you have a moment, I would love to get your advice on this matter. It is equally important to practice sentences for clarifying information politely and effectively. Advanced learners often encounter situations where instructions, explanations, or conversations are not immediately clear. Instead of saying, "I do not understand," you can use more thoughtful sentences like, "I want to make sure I understood correctly." Advanced English learners should also focus on sentences for clarification, feedback, and expressing complex opinions. These types of sentences help you participate actively, communicate clearly, and maintain professionalism in any conversation. For clarification, instead of simply saying, "I don't understand," you can use more polite and thoughtful sentences. Could you explain that part again? Could you clarify what you mean by this point? I want to follow your ideas accurately. These sentences show attentiveness, respect, and engagement, and they prevent misunderstandings while keeping the conversation positive and constructive. Using clarification sentences regularly helps you participate confidently in discussions without interrupting or creating confusion. For giving feedback or sharing evaluations, advanced learners should focus on sentences that are professional, constructive, and encouraging. Instead of just pointing out mistakes or saying, "Good job," you can say, "I think you did a great job on this, and one suggestion I have that could improve it further is to focus on this aspect." Your approach is very effective, and I believe that incorporating this idea could make it even better. These sentences combine appreciation with constructive advice, allowing you to give feedback confidently without sounding critical, harsh, or uncertain. Practicing feedback sentences improves your collaboration skills and makes your language sound sophisticated, professional, and thoughtful. Advanced learners should also practice expressing opinions about abstract or complex ideas. Communicating opinions on complicated subjects can be challenging, but using structured, polite sentences makes it easier. For example, "Based on my understanding, I think this approach could work well, although there are some aspects we may need to consider further. I see several benefits in this idea, and I believe it aligns with our overall objectives while allowing room for improvement." These sentences demonstrate critical thinking, clarity, and respect for other viewpoints, which are essential skills for academic discussions, debates, or professional meetings. Another effective strategy is practicing sentences that compare ideas or evaluate options. Advanced learners often need to discuss choices, weigh different perspectives, or make informed decisions. For example, both options have their strengths, but I think option A may be more practical in the short term, while option B could provide long-term benefits. Comparing these strategies, it seems that combining elements from both approaches could yield the best results. These sentences communicate analysis clearly and logically, demonstrate critical thinking, and allow you to contribute meaningfully in problem-solving discussions. This skill is especially valued in professional, academic, and collaborative environments. It is also extremely useful to practice sentences for managing disagreements or conflicts respectfully. At an advanced level, communication is not only about sharing ideas, but also about maintaining positive relationships even when opinions differ. For example, "I understand your concerns, and I think we can find a solution that addresses both of our perspectives. While I see your point, I believe there is another approach that might work better, and I would like to explore it with you." Sentences like these allow you to express your viewpoint politely, avoid confrontation, and work toward mutual understanding and cooperation. Another key skill is practicing sentences that integrate multiple ideas into a single statement. Complex conversations often require combining explanation, evaluation, and suggestion in one sentence. For example, "I understand the challenges you mentioned, and I believe that by adjusting our approach slightly, we could address those concerns while improving efficiency and maintaining quality." This type of sentence demonstrates understanding, critical thinking, and problem-solving, and it allows you to communicate complex ideas naturally and confidently. By practicing sentences for clarification, feedback, opinions, comparisons, disagreements, and multi-idea statements, advanced learners can speak fluently, persuasively, and thoughtfully. Daily practice will make these sentences second nature, helping you respond quickly, think in English, and express your ideas clearly and respectfully in any situation. Advanced English learners should focus on practicing sentences for handling disagreements, collaboration, expressing uncertainty, reflecting on experiences, discussing possibilities, and showing empathy. These sentences help you communicate confidently, politely, and effectively in professional, academic, or personal situations. 1. Handling disagreements and difficult situations. It is very important to learn sentences that help you respond politely and stay composed, even when conversations are challenging. For example, I understand your perspective, and I think we can find a solution that works for both of us. While I see your point, I believe there may be another approach worth exploring together. Using sentences like these regularly allows you to stay respectful, professional, and confident, which is essential in any context. It also helps you express your viewpoint without creating tension. 2. Encouraging collaboration and teamwork in group discussions, meetings, or projects. It is important not only to share your ideas, but also to acknowledge and build on the contributions of others. For example, I think if we combine our strengths, we can achieve better results together. Your suggestion is excellent, and if we add this idea, we could create an even stronger outcome. These sentences show that you are thoughtful, solution-focused, and cooperative. Practicing collaboration sentences helps you communicate inclusively, strengthen relationships, and create a positive environment where everyone feels valued. 3. Expressing uncertainty or exploring ideas carefully. Sometimes, you need to communicate tentative thoughts without sounding indecisive. For example, I am not entirely sure, but it seems this approach might be effective under certain circumstances. Based on what I understand, this could work, although I would like to examine it further. These sentences show careful reasoning, credibility, and thoughtfulness, which are highly valued in professional, academic, or intellectual conversations. They help you balance confidence with humility. 4. Reflecting on experiences and personal growth. Sharing reflections in a natural way makes your English sound mature and thoughtful. For example, I learned a lot from this experience, and it helped me understand the importance of planning and collaboration. This project taught me new skills and allowed me to improve my problem-solving abilities. This situation challenged me, but it also helped me develop new skills and gain a fresh perspective. Reflective sentences help you communicate self-awareness, maturity, and growth without sounding boastful or vague. Regular practice makes conversations more interesting and engaging for listeners. 5. Expressing possibility or probability. Advanced conversations often involve predicting outcomes or discussing hypothetical situations. Instead of vague phrases, you can say, "It is possible that this approach could improve efficiency, especially if we implement it carefully. There is a high probability that this strategy will succeed given the resources and planning involved." These sentences help you discuss abstract, strategic, or future-oriented ideas with confidence, making your English sound professional, precise, and analytical. 6. Demonstrating empathy and understanding. Advanced English is not only about grammar or vocabulary, it's also about connecting with people. For example, I can understand why you feel that way, and I want to help in any way I can. I see that this situation is challenging for you, and I hope we can work together to find a solution. Using sentences like these shows compassion, respect, and attentiveness, and helps you build positive relationships in any setting. By practicing sentences in these areas, disagreements, collaboration, uncertainty, reflection, possibility, and empathy. Advanced learners develop confidence, clarity, and natural flow in English. Over time, these sentences become second nature, making your speech polished, professional, and engaging, and allowing you to participate actively in discussions, handle challenges gracefully, and communicate effectively in any situation. Advanced English learners should focus on practicing sentences for empathy, negotiation, persuasion, summarizing, and debating. These sentences help you communicate confidently, professionally, and respectfully in any situation. 1. Showing empathy and compassion. Sentences that express understanding, care, and support make your communication more human and relatable. For example, I can understand why you feel that way, and I want to help in any way I can. I see that this situation is challenging for you, and I hope we can work together to find a solution. Regular practice of these sentences ensures your language is socially aware, fluent, and impactful, helping you handle sensitive or emotionally charged conversations successfully. 2. Negotiation and persuasion. Advanced learners often need to influence others politely and collaboratively. Instead of giving direct commands, you can use sentences like, I suggest we consider this approach because it may help us achieve better results. One idea that could work well is to try this method, and I would be happy to explain why I think it might be effective. If we consider this approach, I believe it could benefit both sides, and I would like to discuss the details further. Practicing these sentences helps you present ideas persuasively, maintain credibility, and stay polite, which is essential in professional meetings, group projects, or team discussions. 3. Summarizing and concluding discussions. Ending conversations, meetings, or presentations clearly is crucial for professional communication. For example, to summarize, we have discussed several options, and I believe the best way forward is to combine the strengths of each approach. In conclusion, the key points we covered suggest that careful planning and collaboration will lead to the most effective results. These sentences help you organize your thoughts, leave a strong impression, and make discussions more structured and professional. 4. Participating in debates or discussions. Advanced learners benefit from sentences that express agreement, disagreement, or alternative perspectives respectfully. For example, I see the merit in your argument, and I would like to add another perspective that might complement your point. While I agree with part of what you said, I think there are additional factors we should consider to fully understand the situation. Using sentences like these allows you to express critical thinking, analyze different viewpoints, and engage meaningfully without sounding confrontational. They also encourage collaboration and help you participate confidently in professional, academic, or social conversations. Key takeaway: by practicing sentences for empathy, negotiation, summarizing, and debating, advanced learners can influence others politely and effectively, conclude discussions professionally, handle disagreements tactfully, communicate fluently, confidently, and naturally. Regularly using these sentences in real-life situations will gradually make them second nature, allowing you to speak English in a polished, sophisticated, and socially aware way. Advanced English learners should practice sentences that make communication versatile, professional, and effective. Using these sentences regularly will help you participate in complex conversations with clarity, confidence, and poise, whether in meetings, class discussions, group projects, or casual debates. 1. Debates and discussions. Instead of simply agreeing or disagreeing, use sentences that show thoughtfulness and critical thinking. I see the value in your idea, and I would like to add another perspective that could complement it. While I agree with part of your point, I think there are additional factors we should consider to fully understand the situation. Practicing these sentences helps you express ideas thoughtfully, stay engaged, and sound confident and professional. 2. Explaining cause and effect. Conversations often require reasoning or logical connections. Instead of saying this happened because of that, try. The outcome occurred due to a combination of factors, including careful planning, effective communication, and timely execution. Because the team worked collaboratively and anticipated potential challenges, the project progressed smoothly and achieved its goals. Using sentences like these improves your ability to organize thoughts logically and makes your English sound structured and professional. 3. Giving instructions or guidance. Advanced learners often need to explain tasks or procedures clearly and politely. To complete this task effectively, I suggest following these steps carefully and reviewing each part before submission. If you follow this approach, it will help ensure the process is smooth and efficient. These sentences help you communicate instructions confidently, politely, and clearly, which is essential in professional and academic settings. 4. Conditional or hypothetical sentences. Discussing possibilities, planning, or imagining scenarios requires careful phrasing. If we implement this strategy, it is likely that we will see improvements in efficiency and overall outcomes. Had we taken a different approach, the results might have been quite different, and we could have learned valuable lessons for future projects. Practicing conditional sentences improves your ability to think critically, discuss alternatives, and participate actively in planning or problem-solving conversations. 5. Descriptive sentences. Advanced learners often need to describe trends, patterns, or observations in detail. Sales experienced a significant increase last month, especially in the online sector, which suggests that our new marketing strategy is effective. I observed a pattern in the data showing that customer engagement is highest during morning hours, which can help guide our planning. Clear and descriptive sentences improve clarity, professionalism, and persuasiveness, making your ideas easier for listeners to follow. 6. Polite disagreement with alternatives. Instead of simply saying, "I do not agree," use sentences that acknowledge others' ideas while offering alternatives. "I understand your approach, and I think it has merit, but I would like to suggest another idea that could complement it." While your suggestion is valuable, we might also consider this alternative to achieve better results. These sentences allow you to disagree respectfully, maintain professionalism, and contribute constructively. Key takeaway: practicing sentences for debates, cause and effect, instructions, conditional ideas, descriptive language, and polite disagreement helps advanced learners communicate clearly and fluently, organize thoughts logically, respond confidently in complex conversations, sound professional, persuasive, and socially aware. Over time, these sentences will become second nature, allowing you to participate effectively in professional, academic, and social discussions. Advanced learners should practice sentences that make communication clear, professional, and persuasive. Regular practice ensures your English becomes fluent, structured, and confident in discussions, meetings, or casual interactions. 1. Polite disagreement. Instead of simply saying, "I disagree," use sentences that acknowledge others' ideas while offering alternatives. However, an alternative method could address the issue more effectively. While your suggestion is valuable, I propose a slightly different approach that might achieve better results. These sentences allow you to express different opinions respectfully, participate in problem-solving, and maintain a polite, professional tone. 2. Summarizing discussions or decisions. Clear summarizing helps others understand key points and conclusions. To summarize, we have discussed several options, and I believe the best approach is to combine the strengths of each idea. In conclusion, our discussion shows that careful planning and teamwork will lead to the most effective results. Practicing these sentences makes your communication organized, professional, and complete, allowing you to close discussions confidently. 3. Giving feedback or evaluations. Instead of saying, "Good job," use sentences that show appreciation and offer constructive suggestions. I appreciate the effort you put into this project. It has made a significant difference in the results we achieved together. Your approach is very effective, and incorporating this additional idea could make it even better. Regular practice in giving feedback improves collaboration, professionalism, and interpersonal communication. 4. Making polite recommendations or suggestions. Avoid direct commands. Instead, offer guidance politely. I would recommend considering this approach because it has worked well in similar situations. One suggestion I have is to focus on these steps first, as it may lead to better outcomes and save time. These sentences help you share ideas tactfully and maintain a collaborative tone. 5. Expressing intentions or plans. Explain your future actions clearly. I plan to complete this task by the end of the week and will review all details carefully. My intention is to organize the meeting tomorrow to discuss next steps and gather feedback from the team. Such sentences demonstrate responsibility, organization, and confidence. 6. Descriptive sentences. Describe actions, events, or experiences in detail. The project went very smoothly because the team coordinated well, followed the plan carefully, and overcame unexpected challenges together. The workshop was very helpful as it provided detailed explanations, practical examples, and opportunities to ask questions. Descriptive sentences make your communication precise, engaging, and easy to understand, improving storytelling and clarity. Key takeaway: practicing polite disagreement, summaries, feedback, recommendations, intentions, and descriptive sentences allows advanced learners to speak naturally and fluently, think clearly and critically, respond confidently and professionally, maintain a respectful, organized, and persuasive tone. Regular use of these sentences ensures your English becomes second nature, polished, and effective in professional, academic, and social settings. 1. Using cause, effect, and reasoning. Advanced learners benefit from sentences that explain ideas logically and convincingly. Instead of, "It worked because we tried hard." Try, "The project succeeded because we anticipated potential challenges, communicated effectively as a team, and implemented solutions promptly, which led to a positive outcome." Sentences like this demonstrate critical thinking, attention to detail, and the ability to express complex ideas clearly. Regular practice strengthens your analytical and professional communication skills. 2. Expressing preferences and priorities politely. At an advanced level, it is important to share choices without forcing them on others. I would prefer to address this issue first because it has the most immediate impact, but I am open to hearing other suggestions. My priority is to complete the main task efficiently while also ensuring that all supporting tasks are managed properly. These sentences help you communicate priorities clearly while staying respectful and cooperative, which is key for decision-making and professional discussions. 3. Sharing experiences and insights naturally. Instead of short statements like, "I learned something," use sentences that reflect experience and critical thinking. During this project, I gained valuable insights into effective teamwork, which highlighted the importance of clear communication and proactive problem solving. From my experience, I realized that planning ahead and anticipating challenges can make a significant difference in achieving successful results. These sentences show reflection, convey insights professionally, and make your English more engaging. 4. Promoting openness and collaboration. Collaborative sentences help you work with others and create a positive atmosphere. I think we could try this approach together, and I am open to ideas on how to improve it further. I value your opinion, and combining our suggestions may lead to better results. Using these sentences regularly encourages teamwork, inclusivity, and respectful, professional communication. 5. connecting experiences, reasoning, and solutions. Advanced learners should practice combining multiple ideas into a single coherent, professional sentence. By observing the challenges during this project, I realized that proactive planning, clear communication, and teamwork were key to achieving our goals successfully. Sentences like this integrate experience, reflection, and analysis, making your speech fluent, persuasive, and professional. Key takeaways. Practicing sentences for cause and effect, priorities, experiences, collaboration, and integrated reasoning strengthens advanced English skills. These sentences make your speech structured, thoughtful, and persuasive. Regular practice ensures you can express ideas clearly, engage listeners, and respond confidently in professional, academic, or social settings.